Seth frickin' Rollins has been doing interviews recently and he's talking about Vince McMahon and The Rock. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and we're here to discuss, first off, The Rock. So obviously The Rock, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania XL, whatever you want to call it, 40, blah 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 blah. The press conference is tonight. A lot of people looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing The Rock Reigns face off. I just feel like that sort of stuff should be done on the actual television show, but here, WrestleMania these days, well, I mean, they've always did press conferences, to be fair, but at least you were getting good stuff on TV as well. You just feel like these days, man, you're not really getting anything on TV. That's just my own humble opinion, damn it. We're not getting anything good on television. Absolutely not. It sucks. It's no happening. We're getting a bunch of jobbers, to say the least, on our television screens these days. It's not quite the ruthless aggression or the attitude era. That is for sure. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, he was addressing The Rock, and he simply said, look, Rocky, we love you, but at the end of the day, we don't need you. And it's ridiculous, right? If WWE didn't need The Rock, he wouldn't be here. We've seen in past eras, like, you know, in the Attitude Era, they didn't rely on bringing back The Rock, or well, I'll say The Rock, they didn't rely on bringing back these, like, mega stars. Now, yeah, did people come back? Absolutely, but you've also got to look in the context. Like, no one came back part-time. Like, when Hogan came back in 2002, like, it was like a 6-month run. You know what I mean? So, I just don't really understand it. Like, Rock and Austin at Mania 19 was nowhere near the main event. Things like that. Rock Hogan didn't main event. So even when, like, you know, these sort of matches have happened in the past, it's not like it main evented. Like, the Rock and Sock connection, when The Rock came back at 20, didn't main event. Because guess what? You had other people that were being booked strong. Seth Rollins can think that WWE doesn't need The Rock, but the reality is they do. You know, Rock, well, in a sense, right? They don't need The Rock in terms of, like, will WWE ever exist again without him this WrestleMania? But in terms of putting on the biggest and best show that they've got capable, The Rock absolutely helps. You know what I mean? The Rock is absolutely the way you need to go. So Seth Rollins has got that take wrong for me, in my personal opinion. But anyway, moving forward with Seth Rollins and Vince McMahon, and he was talking about the Vince McMahon sex trafficking allegations, and he was talking about how things have changed for WWE talent due to the situation with Vince. He said, day to day for us, it doesn't. We're so far removed as talent from that stuff, like, it's awful, it's terrible, I hate it, it's a disgusting situation, but we're so far removed from it. When we get to work, it's just like, how do we make this show the best possible show we can? That stuff with Vince, that's personal stuff, that's business stuff, and that's so far above what we're thinking, where brains are out. I mean, we're not going to do anything that's going to impact any of it. It's an awful situation. We are focused on what we do day to day. It would be just like in any sort of other business structure, right? It's awful and you feel terrible and you wish you could seen it and done something, this or that, but at the end of the day, your job is your job, and that's what we do. We show up and we try to give the people the best, who pay the tickets, sorry, to come in the best possible show we can. That's kind of our department. End of quote there. But I mean, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. So Seth Rollins essentially coming out and being like, it's awful what Vince McMahon did, even though there's no proof what Vince McMahon did. Triple H just threw him under the bus. Cody Rhodes kind of didn't throw Vince under the bus, but Triple H definitely did. Seth Rollins, like, because you can understand why they're not, right? Like, going impartial and 50-50 neutral down the middle, but the reality is there's no proof what Vince McMahon did. You know, there's not. There's absolutely not. And the fact that John Laurinaitis has actually jumped on, like, Janelle Grant's side to go against Vince definitely, to me, points that, like, McMahon is innocent, but they've just backed the horse they think's going to win. Because obviously, 2024, guys, you know our thoughts on this. The women are always going to be believed over an old, white, rich guy. And here, what they did was some disgusting acts. But at the end of the day, it looked all consensual. But anyway, that's going to do it for Seth Rollins commenting on The Rock and Vince McMahon. We'll be back very soon with an AEW Dynamite review, which looked pretty pish, judging by the results. Part of it, I mean, happy to see Sting win the belts at the end of the day, but here, you'll hear my thoughts later on the entire show in a review later. But until then, peace.